Alright guys, today I'll be showing you the practical way of how you can use the Pixellab app and the various tools you need to know about to create your designs, flyers and the rest. So the first thing here is let me bring up this draw button here. So the first thing here we have this circle here. I believe you can see it. So once you click on it, once you click on it, you're going to see various options. You see text, current date, sticker, shapes from gallery, and draw. So we already have our text here. We have our text. So you can come here and input anything. Come here, just write anything. This is our text. You can increase the size, you can reduce it, you can increase size, you can reduce this. And then to go right ahead to explain it, you can see the down below, you can see the edit button, you can see the delete. If you want to delete what you have here, you click on delete. Or you can always press the reverse button to go back. Here's our reverse button here. So you click on it to go back. So that's that. We click on it to go back. So you can see copy. You can copy this text as much as you want. You can copy it. You can copy it, delete, delete, delete. Then you can see you can bring this text to the front and to the back. Although we don't have any other thing written here, so you might not see it, but during the course of the tutorial I will explain more. Here's our position. You can shift it by pixels movements. You can increase it if you want to make the movements to be much more faster, and you can reduce it whichever way you want. Then you have the relative position. Relative position is where do you want your text to be. If you want your text to be at the center, you click here. Then if you want it to be directly at the center of the page of your work, you just click. After clicking here, then you click here. You can take it to the left, you can take it to the right, you can take it up, you can take it down, whichever way you want it to be. Then its size, you can increase the size from here as well, just like I said. Then there's what we call padding. We'll still get to some of these. And there's color. Of course, you put whatever color you want your text to be. There's color. There's what is called color. So once you click on color, then you click on this plus sign that you can see here. I believe you can see it. Okay, let me click on it. I believe you can see it. This plus sign that you have here. So let's go back. Once you click on it, you can see different you can see the color we presented here. Then you can choose to pick the color from your image or whatever you have there, but we'll see get onto that. Let's go back. There's what we call okay, texture. You can make this text to be texturized. Let me click on texture. Once you click on texture, you can see the option here, no texture selected. So we're going to click on this right here. Then it's going to take you to your gallery. Then if there's a particular texture you want on that text there to have, so let's click on this. Then you're going to zoom in on the particular aspect you want it to, the texture. So let's just assume we want something like this. So you can see it, although it's not very visible. So let's still delete this. I'm just giving you a brief rundown. There's what we call opacity. Opacity, you want to reduce how the text come out. If it comes out very well or not, you just do this. Yes. So the next thing we have here is rotate. You can rotate your text to whatever degree you want to rotate it. And yes, that's that. Then there's also the max tool, but we'll be explaining this much more later. So we'll be explaining this max tool much later. Yes, we'll be explaining the max tool much more later. There are some technicalities in it. Then there's font. Then what type of font do you want? There's what we call the custom font. There's the font that comes with the Pixellab app. So we have some fonts like this. You can choose or you pick from the custom font, but usually it's advised that you download your font. So you come over here to my font. These are some of the fonts I've downloaded. These are some of my fonts library. So in subsequent videos, I'll also be showing you how you can add fonts to the Pixellab app. So let's go on. Then the next thing we have here is the style. If you want your text to be bold, if you want it to be in italics, if you want it underlined, if you want to remove every other effect that we've done. So that's that. Then we have the curve, basically just to give it a curve or a bending like you can see there. So it's from a 0 or it's from minus 100 to 100, so whichever one you want it. Let's go back. That is not what we're here for. So there's a background. If you want your text to have a background, you just enable it. You enable it, then you can pick whatever color you want the background to have. You can always pick the color. You can add the padding from the to the left and to the right to whatever amount you want to, something like this, to the left, to the right. You can add top padding, make it add it to the top. You can add to the bottom. Then you can also add a radius. So you can see this radius gives you somewhat like a circular field. So that's what you can do. So that's that. Then we've talked about alignment. Let's see, you can align in different way, but I will need to put more text here. So let's go quick edit. Then let's say initiative with definiteness, difference. Let's say something like this. So I will reduce the text a bit. I believe you can see this right now. So we'll go back to what I was just explaining, which is the align. So with this align now, you could choose to centralize it. The way this is centralized is what we call central alignment, but you can choose to align it to the left. So every text is moves towards the right part and left part. You can make it centralized just as it was, or you can make it right or centralized, so this way. So whichever way you want. Let's go back. Then we have spacing. If it's in one line, you get to see the effect of spacing. So with spacing, you get to see how your text come this way, something like this. Let's go back. Then after that, there's what we call line spacing. So the line spacing in that the line in between the text. So you can increase it, you can reduce it. That's that. Then stroke, yes. If you want it to have a stroke effect, and okay, so as usual, you can add different color you want, and you can increase it. So something like this, you can increase it. That's that for stroke. Then you can add a shadow effect. I believe you just saw that. Let me do this one more time. So this is what we call a shadow effect, something like this. Then before I proceed, let me just make the background black. This is where you can go to the background. Here we have it. Come up over. This is where we can go to our background. So let's click here. Then let me make, you can see the color. Let me just make the color black so that you can see what I'm doing very well. Black. Or you can choose to make it a white background. White background. Then let's make our text white. I think it's already white, and black rather. Let's make our text black, whichever way you want it. So you can already see the shadow effect. I believe you can see that. Let's put it up. So this is how our text is. But with the shadow effect, you can do this, and as usual, you can make the shadow effect whichever color. So let's make it white. It won't be much more visible because of the white background. But we can add other color. Then the shadow effect can also have its own opacity. You can see it. It's very visible. You can reduce the opacity. There's the blur radius. You can see how it is now, and the outer glow effect. This is how it is. You can also tune it to different direction, to left, to right, X, Y, up and down, something like this. So let's shadow, let's turn it off, we don't need it now. So that's that. Then this one is like the shadow is internal, so the other shadow is external shadow. Then there's emboss. Okay, sometimes it gives this effect. Let's leave this for now. There's perspective. Perspective means just like you can make it have a different kind of feel. Let me show you. It's enabled now, so you can make your text more like this. And for you to get the best out of this perspective, you need to be able to use your grid lines. Your grid lines. These are grid lines here. Okay, these are grid lines here. Here's our grid line. Our grid line. So you need to be able to make use of this grid line, but we'll still come back to this. Let's finish up with this. So it just gives you a different kind of perspective. You can lie down your text. You can see how it is now, like it's lying down. So that's the beauty of perspective. And okay, let's go back. Then 3D rotate, like you can see, you can rotate it from a 3D point of view, from the x-axis and the y-axis. That's that. Then 3D text, yes, you can see some other effects there. But most of this you get to understand it better when you're using the tool. So that's that for text. Then we also have image. But for me to explain this image, I believe you saw where first. Let me bring this shadow first. So this is our image. You click on this shield and you get a view of the image. So as you can see now, let's go back. From the image now, there's what we call sticker. You can see the sticker. When you click on it, there are some kind of I'll call it funny kind of stickers. I hardly make use of this. There is what they call import. So with this import now, you can bring in image from your gallery. So let's look at this. So we've imported this. Yes. So this is what we have here as an image. Then you can, of course, you can crop it, which I just did. You can copy the same thing with the text. You can copy it, delete. I don't need it. Delete. Then what's the next thing we have here? You can I wanted to explain this now better. So this is at the front now. This at the front. You can take it to the back with this to back. You can see it now, it's behind the text. You can still bring it to front. The position, same thing I explained. Relative position, I explained it with text. It applies here with the image. Then the relative size, you can also increase the size, the width, the height from here. Then color, of course, you can put color to this because it's gonna should I say ruin the image. So that's that for color. Then texture, similar to what I explained for text. You can add a texture to this, but we don't want to add it to this. The opacity, you can do that. And there's also the color filters. So with these color filters, you get to edit the hue. I believe you are looking at the image, it's coming out in a different way now. So you can see how it is. You can work on the saturation, you work on the brightness, and you work on the contrast. But there will be more video that will explain this further. This is just to give you a idea of how it works. You can also add stroke, but based on this is an image with a background already, so you can add stroke to this. So eraser, yes, you can erase certain part of this image. So all you need to do is just whichever part you want to erase. So you can see that part will be erased. It will be erased. So you can see it's erased. Then but let's go back. That's not what we want to do. Then mask is there are certain part of the image you might want to crop out, and this one is also a little bit more technical. So there'll be more videos to explain this, but for now just have an idea. Let me enable it so you can see now that we've cropped out that part. So it's a little bit technical. We will not be going into that for this video. Let's cancel it. Then erase color. Yes, this is what I wanted to explain. So now as you can see, this image has a background color. You can erase it. Let's enable it. So you can see now that the background has been erased. That is what you do with the erase color effect. Then if it's not coming out the way you want, you can always increase the tolerance to whichever one is okay. Okay, you can see this is terribly definitely not going to work. So just reduce the tolerance a little bit, then it comes out great. Same thing, you can rotate your text, go back 3D rotate, I've explained it, 3D shape and virtually this. So that's that for the image. Then we'll go over to this part. um, Here is the background, mostly anything that's to do with background. So we click on it and you can see color, which I showed you. You can add color to the background, whichever color you want. And there's what we call gradient. This aspect is what we call gradient. Once you click on it, now gradient is like much more like maybe two different colors or similar colors with different variants. So once you click on this plus icon here, you click on the plus icon, then you can choose to pick. There's let's click here. Here you can click it to pick a color. Then let's also click here. You click here to pick an image. So you click it. So now, because there's just the image here, we can choose to pick the color of his skin or the color of his hair. Let's pick the color of his skin. So we have something like this. So this is how it's going to come out. So let's click OK. You cannot see how the background is. So these are the basics. And let's still go back to color. I just want to use a white background to explain this. Then transparent here in this case is mostly for PNG when you want to download image in PNG. So now you can see once you download this in PNG, it's only maybe probably the text and image that will be able to download, but there will be no background with it. Let's go back. Then image size, you can only set your size to whatever width or height you want it to be. So this is usually the default setting. Once you go back to custom, you can see different size. Let's see. Okay, this is that for YouTube thumbnail, YouTube channel banner and other. So let's see the YouTube thumbnail. Let's click on it. So you can see now the size has changed. Let's go back. So that is basically it. This image is mostly image that is on the Pixellab app, but I don't think anybody will be making use of this image. I don't think. Yes, then if you want to add a background from image from your background, you just rather an image from your gallery, click on from gallery. So let's just use this as an example now, so you can see this. So you see the way this is added. Once you add an image from gallery with your background, it's going to be the background image. That is the difference between adding image from gallery and just going right ahead to add. Let's click here, this plus icon from gallery, then we pick the same image, this. So you can see the difference. Once you add from gallery, from here, let me circle it. From here, from gallery, from here, you're going to get your image as it is. But once you add it from the background, let me circle it so that you see again. Once you get it from here, then from gallery, it's just going to be the background as it is here. So let's go back. And that's that. We've spent 18 minutes. So quickly I will see how we can do just a quick design with the Pixellab app, just to explain further what I've been able to do. So let's delete this. Let's delete it. So now from gallery, we're bringing in this image. So we're going to be replicating something like this, just a very, very simple design. And for time, I've already written out all the text. So let's just go right ahead. The first thing we're going to do is let's go to from gallery. We're going to bring in the shape. And yes, this is the shape of what we have here. Something like this. We increase the size, right? So yes, we take it to the back. We'll now take it to the back. Then the color, we can pick the color from the image. Let's pick the color from the image just like I explained. So you go over to the image, you drag the cursor to this, and there you have it that way. Then we'll lock it. Here, this is how to lock it. When you lock it, then it will, okay, I locked the wrong thing. So let's click here once more. Look at where I'm clicking. Here, you click on this. So once you click on that, then you can lock it. I went and locked the wrong one. So now it's locked now. So even if you touch it, it will not be shaken. So let's still bring it down. Take it down, 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 down. All right, thank you. So we've brought this. Then the next thing is, let's bring in the other from gallery. Let's bring in the other little. Yes, this is the next thing we have here. So let's just, okay, let's reduce this. This is just to give you a better understanding of what we have been able to explain. Let me still rotate this. Then you give it a color. You go over to color. Then okay, this is the color here. You have this. Then the same thing, you click here, then you lock it. Then you bring this to the front. So look at here. Let me bring our brush. This is where you can add to front. This is to front. If you want to bring anything to the front, if you want to bring anything to the back, here is to back. Go back. But there's another way in which you can bring something to the front. You click here, but you not just click it and leave it. You click and hold it. What I'm going to be doing now. So you click it, then you will take it to the front. Then that's why you have it at the front. So that's that. Then we'll bring in the main image from the, okay, this is the main image. Remember, this is just something simple that you can do. So we'll just increase it. There's something I need to show you about image. So we have our image here. Let's go over to crop. So when you want to crop, it's always best that you make it this ratio 1:1. Ratio 1 is usually a square size. So you click on it. I hope you are seeing what I'm saying. This is 1:1. It's usually a square size. So we click on it. Then with this way, you can decide to make it circular if you want, or you can decide to leave it the way it is. I want it this way. So now you increase it. We have our image here. You can still choose to increase it. Have it here. Then the next thing you do is what? You lock it. You lock it so that it will not disturb our work. Click this to front. So, and yes, then let's go over here. Then you see the shapes. I believe you can see shapes. So you click on shapes. Here, let's give it another color so you're able to see it very well. So this is a square shape. But if you click here, you'll see different kind of other shapes. So you see circle, cone, triangle, arrow, star, and a whole lot. But what we want now is the square, so we'll still use the square. But then there's some other things you need to know. There's what we call radius. So with this radius, you can give it more like a curved edge. I believe you can see how it's now being curved. And sometimes it can even look like a circular shape. So you can do this. You will now make it look curved and it gives you another view entirely. You can also reduce the opacity, so you can see, to even 0. But the idea of reducing its opacity is now you can make use of stroke. Now let's come over here. The stroke width, you can now see, you can increase the stroke to whatever level you want. Then you can also put a color for the stroke. The stroke color, you can see something like this. So yes, that's that. But now we want to make use of the color, definitely. So we can go ahead and remove the stroke width. We won't be needing it. Then let's give this shape a white color, to replicate what we want to do. We take it up there. Okay. Yes, something like that. Then the next thing is the text, which I told you I've already written. So I'll just go over to where I have it. And yes, go over to my design brief. So how long? 25 minutes. We'll be done with this very soon. So hire a graphic designer. So we're copying it just one by one. So now we bring in our text once more. Bring in our text. You delete it, then just paste what we have there. Then we go over to the fonts. We use Montserrat fonts. It's always best to use okay, not just for this, we're using the Montserrat font. Then as what I wanted to say, that it's always best to use your grid lines. This is what we have call our grid lines here, or margin lines, whatever one you call it. So you bring it, then you can have a view of how well your work is aligned. Then you can still click here. You click here, then you can set the margin line to how many, whichever amount you want. Then once you click here, let's still click it. You can set it to the amount you want. So once I click here now, I can just make it 13. That's the number of horizontal guides and number of vertical guides. So we have it like this. Then once you click here, it's going to be locked. Let me show you once more. Once you click here, you're going to lock it. So you just click it. Then you're good to go. So you will just put your text here. Hire a graphic designer. But I think we need to reduce this. Okay, let's leave it at 50. Let's leave it at 50. So if you're not very comfortable with this line, you can always off it, then put it off by clicking on it. Then when you're done, you can bring it back. So let's go over to the next thing we have here, a graphic designer. Copy. So let's now I showed you how to copy your text. So we'll copy the text, come over here, then you put what we have here, graphic designer. You're gonna make this bigger, make it bigger. This. Then you can change the font to the typeface to a bold font. So we now have it bold this way. Then we'll copy this. Let's copy this, bring it here. Then we'll go over and copy the next thing. Our services, because of I wouldn't want this video to take very long, even though it is already taking much more time than I had expected. So I just copied all my text. Okay, then we'll give this text a background, but first we have to make it white so that our background will be able to reflect. You can't see it now, but we'll go over to adding a background. With the background, yes. So now what color do we want it? This is how it's going to be. Then we can increase the left padding, increase the right padding, then the top padding, the bottom padding. Then if you want, you can always give it a radius. So we have it this way. We'll still need to reduce it. Okay. I said reduce, not rotate. So we have it this way. Remember, we always make use of our grid lines. Then the next thing, we'll copy this. We'll copy this, come over here. Then the other things, the services, everything in the services, we're just gonna copy it. Okay, young man, come down here. Copy this. Copy. We go right here and paste. We paste it, then you reduce the size and reduce the size. Okay, sorry for the background noise. Sorry for the background noise. Line spacing. We have it this way. Then the next thing, we'll copy this our services. Let me bring it to the front. We'll copy it. Copy. Then the next thing is call or WhatsApp. I think yes. Young man, you have to go to the call or WhatsApp. Yes, copy this. So that's it. Let's paste it. Call or WhatsApp. Then we're going to change the background color to this blue here. Okay, no. Okay, yes, let's change the text color to white. Then the background color to this blue here. Then you can still, I don't know why you're dancing, young man. You can reduce the, remember I see using our making use by grid lines. Then you can align it so that your work is properly aligned. Alignment is very, very key in making design. Then the other thing is copy this, we come over here. Then we'll just put in the phone number. And I just put the dummy text there, and it's not much you do. You can put an account number. This is just a quick design to show you how what we've learned about the Pixellab app, how we can apply it. Do let me know if you're getting value from this, and don't forget to like, don't forget of course to subscribe for more content. We'll reduce the size this way, and I think what's remaining is yes, that text that should be at the top. Copy design solution. So copy this design solution. So usually when I want to make my video, I like it when there is no noise, but sometimes it happens that way. So this is what we've been able to replicate in 31 minutes. So it's just a quick, okay, go back. We didn't give this text a color, and it's supposed to be that blue kind of color. Yes. So we've been able to replicate this, and if you want to give it a texture, I think a white texture, I have something here. Yes, you make it square as usual, increase it and take it to the back. You give it a different kind of feel. So we've been able to replicate this. I want to believe you understood. Just some few things to do, but I just wanted to give you a rundown of how the Pixellab app works. And yes, I want to close with this. The more you use the tool, the more you know about it. Thank you for watching.